Hello and welcome to Esther's Gardening Adventures. I'm Esther and today I'm giving you a quick tour of my home garden, and then I'm taking you to the community garden to show you how it's looking, and boy, it's finally looking how I envisioned. So let's get going. Starting off at my home garden, I love my container sunflowers. I'm so excited that they're all blooming. I have to cut a few back now, but look how bright and cheery they are. One interesting observation with container sunflowers is because I planted them so close together that the leaves sometimes form a canopy and prevent the rain from getting down into the container, so I have to water this container more often, but I'd say it's worth it. I also want to show you my first echinacea or coneflower bloom of the year. This is a perennial flower. It blooms its second year, and I winter sowed these last year. I grew them from winter sowing last year, and I got them going this year, and oh, isn't it such a pretty flower? All right, so here's how the garden currently looks, my community rental garden. You can see I've taken the bridle tool off of the peppers as well as the lettuce, and here at the bottom is where I've planted the eggplant, possibly too close together, but we'll see. Over there are lettuces that have already bloomed or gone to seed, but they're pretty, so I'm leaving them until I basically can plant something else there. Here's my peppers row, and as you can see, the peppers are doing relatively well. They've gotten wider since I took the bridle tool off, which gave them room to grow. Over here are my tomatoes. You can see how I've sort of used twine to hold them up. They're doing really well overall, and then I've added this 12 gauge wire at the top tied by these T-posts to help to help create some tension, so that when the tomatoes are extra heavy, I can use this. When they're this tall, I can sort of tie them to this and give them extra support, but I'm also using it to sort of tie bamboo to help give extra support to some of the ones that are a little more flippy floppy. And over on the other side is my sister helping me weed. She really enjoys it, and I am so appreciative of it, let me tell you. You can see here how I've sort of trellised the tomatoes up, so I have the thread kind of going between to hold them in place, but not so tight that they can't grow. Oh, and there's a sucker I need to remove. In case you don't know, suckers are the things that grow in sort of the armpit of the tomato, and if you leave them, you can, but if you leave them, they'll grow into extra branches, which can sometimes take more energy from the tomatoes. And look, we have our first baby tomato. This is a green zebra tomato, and I am so excited. I'm gonna have tomatoes soon. Woo! Okay, now over to our squash and zucchini row, as well as pumpkin row. You can see that they have grown exponentially larger since last time we looked, and they're all doing really well. I have seen squash bugs, and I thought I saw a vine borer the other day, but I'm just kind of leaving it be. We'll see how it goes in the end. Hopefully I'll still get some fruit from them. Yeah, and let's look and see. I think I saw some baby zucchini in here. This is the Black Beauty zucchini. Also, apparently I mislabeled this. This is not a scallop squash. This is definitely a Black Beauty zucchini. And I gave some quote-unquote scallop squash seedlings away, and those people might be surprised in the end too. Well, at least they got some healthy plants. And guys, look how my small Connecticut pumpkin plant is doing. It is vining up along the path. I've trailed it that way so I have space for it to grow. And it's growing real healthy, I think. If you look over here, you will see the kale is just bursting out of the tool, and I have been harvesting leaves like crazy. I gave some away to a neighbor, all that kind of stuff, but the kale is very, very happy in this thing right now. My Charmant cabbage is starting to form heads, and it's looking like I should be able to harvest this one here on the end soon. And then we have the red Russian kale, which is also growing nicely, as well as the dill, which has grown so tall that it was creating holes in the thing. This squash inside of here will soon need to be pollinated, and then we have some more lacinato kale here at the end of the hoop house. Now I want to show you my flower garden. So I have this bed along the edge of the rental garden where I've planted flowers and other things you can see, and there's quite a few things blooming already, which is wonderful. Of course, you can see the orange marigolds are doing great. And then down here, that's the lavender cotton. I've planted some, oh yes, look guys, this is my coral fountain amaranth. And look how beautiful it is. It's starting to produce these beautiful sort of dread-like amaranth flowers. And this is why I got this plant. I want to dry these eventually and use them in flower arrangements. We also have some really pretty snapdragons, some yellow ones, as well as these were supposed to be polar bear zinnias, but they haven't really had that layering, but that's okay. And look at this. Oh my god, I love the coloring on this snapdragon. So stunning. We also have, oh yeah, we also have the red garnet amaranth growing, more zinnias down here. And then down here is where I've planted my comfrey plant I got from my friend. This is a sterile one, which means its seeds will not produce other comfrey, so that'll help slow the growing. And comfrey is great for lung and heart and breathing issues. And then last but not least is the row I sort of pointed out. On the end there is the eggplants, but I've also planted some tomatillo plants, some mullein. Look at the tomatillos, they're flowering. I made sure to do 2 because I know you need 2 to at least pollinate, at least that's what I've heard. And then I had some extra tomato plants that I really didn't want to go give away, and I wasn't able to fit in the other beds, so I've sort of tucked them into these 2 beds here. And look at that. Oh man, look at this stupid choke vine, this chokeweed, man, it's everywhere. Get off my eggplant. But the eggplants are looking healthy overall. I've also planted a couple peppers, so it's sort of an interspersed kind of area here. And I want to thank you so much for watching, and as I'm going to say goodbye for the day, I'm going to show you this clip. This little frog we disturbed while my sister was weeding the sort of ditch area, but that little frog was so cute. And we've seen all kinds of life in this garden, which just really makes me so happy.